Ladies and gentlemen and others, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a slightly different kind of video. I've been seeing a lot of things online, and as much as I don't want to do YouTube drama, I feel I should weigh in on this topic. Just recently, YouTuber HBomberguy put out a 3-hour-long video on plagiarism. Now, 3 hours is a long time. That is 1/8 of a person's day. But as long as that is, it pales in comparison to how long HBomberguy would have had to spend researching, editing, and creating that video. Let me start off by saying there's a lot of reasons why people want to create YouTube channels. Of course, it's possible to monetize it if you have enough subscribers and views, or if you get advertisers and sponsors, or through using Patreon, or a combination of all of that. Others do it for clout, others because they can't shut the fuck up and need to share their opinions with the world, and others are attention-starved fame whores. Anyway, enough about me. Bottom line is, no matter what, YouTubers need an audience, they need views, they need subs, and they need engagement. This is simply the business model for YouTube. So the more stuff that you put out, and the quicker you put it out, the more you're able to monetize it. So back to HBomberguy. He started off with Philip Mewson, a former IGN news editor who blatantly stole the work of a smaller YouTuber called Boomstick Gaming.
First off, this is the Boomstick Gaming, that's myself. Okay, this is one of my favorites here, this part. This combat system is fast, fluid, responsive, and one of the most rewarding representations of 2D combat of the entire genre.
Fights are fast, fluid, responsive, and hands down one of the most gratifying representations of video game combat I've ever experienced.
There was nothing subtle about the theft, and Boomstick Gaming called out IGN and the editor very quickly, with proof of the theft resulting in the editor being fired, doing a non-apology apology, and then challenging the internet to find more evidence of his plagiarism, which of course didn't end well for him because more evidence of his plagiarism was found. HBomberguy also called out other YouTubers like Illuminati and the Internet Historian for refilming and repeating word for word the content of documentaries, or alternately just reading out articles without crediting the authors. In fact, these YouTubers all went out of their way to obscure any references to the original authors and to hide where they got the information from. Either that, or pretending that they did all the research themselves. But worse than that, they not only took the research and pretended it was their own, they also took all the insights of the actual authors of the work. Most of HBomberguy's 3-hour video was about James Summerton though. Another YouTuber also seems to be in the habit of stealing other people's work. James Summerton seems to be particularly egregious because he definitely just reads off other people's work and pretends that the words are his own, as well as taking the thoughts of other people and pretending that those belong to him as well. Again, he's a person that obscures any kind of references or citations to the original authors. James Summerton also happens to be a queer creator who seemed to take a special pleasure in stealing work from other LGBTQ people. On other places on the internet, we've had this ongoing fight about AI and how much people actually hate it. Now, while this might seem like it's a completely different topic from plagiarism, I would like to make the case that it's basically something that is very similar to plagiarism. Recently, a YouTuber called Shadiversity put out a video there showing how much work he had done in creating some AI images. Now, as much as I respect people wanting to do artwork and the democratization of the whole process, I still feel that what he did was misrepresenting the level of effort required to actually create artwork. So Shadiversity admits, I can draw, I just don't like drawing. So his mindset is basically, since I don't like drawing, it justifies finding all kinds of shortcuts or tools as long as he gets his desired result. Now, I'm not an art purist, otherwise I wouldn't be doing digital art, would I? I believe in using tools, so I use Photoshop or Sketchbook or whatever else is convenient and around. And I use the brushes, the digital brushes within those applications to fake oil paintings, pencil sketches, watercolors, textures, and so on. I fully understand that using digital means is just a logical progression of creating artwork. The last bit of internet drama that I'd like to mention is the Corridor Crew. Now, Corridor Crew are guys that look at visual effects in movies, and these guys have a visual effects studio. I often point my students at their work because some of the insights are incredibly valuable in terms of understanding how movies are made or how special effects are done. However, Corridor Crew recently have fully leaned into the whole AI thing, without noticing that the audience really doesn't like it. Now, Corridor Crew might eventually be seen as visionaries for embracing new technology, but in their rush to prove that they could, they forgot to ask if they really should. The reason people hate AI is because all true creative endeavor takes time and effort. It takes time to learn skills and effort to improve those skills. This is what is at the heart of creativity. It's pure craft. Whether it's a turn of phrase or a description if you are a writer, whether it's a fantastic setup and a killer punchline if you are a comedian, whether it's the way that lighting or cinematography is done, or whether it's how color is used to evoke emotions and feelings in movies. And generally people hate it when you wipe out all of that time, effort and craft with lines of instruction and just ask an AI to do it. Now, Corridor Crew's big sin is they looked at the AI and they thought to themselves, how can we use this to take away, for instance, the jobs of thousands of animators? They then trained the AI on existing artwork and then use that to create an animation called rock, paper, scissors. So as an experiment, it was an interesting thing to see, and obviously it wasn't all that perfectly done. But because of all the backlash, because of the artwork that they used to train the AI, and because of that being part of an existing anime, they then redid the same exercise later on with an artist that they paid themselves. But I think they still missed the boat and they still misunderstood why people were getting upset about the whole process of what they were doing. So yes, on the one hand, you can say that this does democratize things, because if I can't draw, then at least I can use AI to get my ideas out there and to show it to other people and to hopefully develop those ideas. And I think to some extent, it's fair enough if you want to do something like that. However, when you present that work as your own effort, when in actual fact all you've done is write lines of code, then you're not necessarily creating something new. You're just asking AI to do it. So like I said, I fully understand that tools make things easier. I'm not a Luddite. I myself, I've dabbled with AI to see what it's all about. Experimentation is really not what I have a problem with. It's the pretense that any kind of real craft or effort went into creating your content. In case you didn't know, I'm from South Africa, so we never had good old days. So believe me, I like the convenience of turning a tap and immediately having water. You know, as opposed to the old days when I had to walk barefoot 50 kilometers uphill in both directions and I had to fight off lions and pirates on the way just to get water from the well. Now, I'm an old school kind of guy. I'm kind of set in my ways. The way that I draw is the way that I draw. The way that I approach a composition or color or concepts, those have basically been solidified almost into stone over the years. While at the same time, my time to experiment and learn new techniques has almost completely disappeared. While I do believe that art is a continuous journey and I do try to learn new things, it's not always possible. Having the convenience of being able to prompt an AI to show an amalgamation of styles or techniques or colors, that's where AI can yield some interesting examples precisely because it doesn't know or it doesn't understand what good taste always is. So yeah, I understand what AI is capable of and why people want to include it into their workflow. It makes sense in some cases. Anyway, a lot of the software that we're using right now already has AI incorporated into it. But again, it comes down to what are you actually doing with it and how are you using it? And if what you produce is 100% or at least 80% your own work, then yeah, I can understand your argument for incorporating it. But not if you're just leaving all of it up to the AI. Then it's pretty much you're just taking something that you didn't create, which is kind of what plagiarism is. Now, it might seem a bit harsh to lump in really talented people like Corridor Crew with lazy copy-paste content producers. But in the end, are they really different? If your sole motivation is to find the quickest, most low common denominator methods to churn out content without a thought for quality or what you're adding to the discourse, then it doesn't matter if you're blatantly stealing other people's work or just asking an AI to do it for you. All these channels are massive, with millions or hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and this blows my mind. I know that we all have different motives for doing our YouTube channels, and the algorithm absolutely draxes you if you don't post every day or every week. But still, why are these channels doing this? Is it just for the clicks and the views and the sponsor money?
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
Look, everybody needs to make a buck, but this shows a complete disrespect and contempt for the audience. It's like they've forgotten that without their viewers, their channels mean nothing. If you have a big audience, why would you indulge in theft? Why present somebody else's thoughts or somebody else's work as your own? It comes down to simply one thing. Quick and easy beats time and effort every single time. And if you want those sweet, sweet clicks, it makes sense to just put out videos as many as you possibly can, as quickly as you possibly can, and screw the quality, which is fair enough. People need to make a living. But what you're really saying is that you don't respect your audience and you don't respect their time. Now take this back to where I started this whole thing. HBomberguy put out a 3-hour video. It must have taken him ages to research. It must have taken him ages to put together. Months even. But every single thing within his video is well researched. It brings all the receipts. It brings all the facts. It absolutely adds to the discourse. And for the audience, it gives them new information that they might never have had before. Not only that, as a byproduct, it also exposes a whole lot of people for doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing. Anyway, what's the point of all of this? I'm pretty sure you all didn't come here for me to sit here and preach at you.
Thank you so much for wasting my motherfucking time.
So this is more than me just getting on my soapbox again, spitting in people's eyes and pretending I'm better than them. I'm not better than them. I like shortcuts as much as the next guy. As far as my channel is concerned though, I don't want to just do stuff to feed the algorithm or to get clicks or to just put stuff out there on a schedule.
What? Now do a silly clown dance for us.
Oh. Yeah, degrade myself, huh? I don't think so. Homie, don't play that.
Speaking just for myself, doing a YouTube channel turned out to be a bit more difficult than I expected. Of course, sometimes one can get away with just spouting opinions and shit talking, but as often as not, some research as well as some organizing of your thoughts and as well as understanding the facts and then coming to conclusions is needed so that one's opinion doesn't come across as idiotic, inappropriate, or worse even yet, irrelevant. Of course, all YouTubers like the validation of having lots and lots of subscribers, comments, and likes, but lucky for me, I'm narcissistic and psychopathic enough to not even mind mostly just talking to myself. So I guess what I'm saying is that I might not be the fastest at getting videos out, but I'd rather put in the effort and the time and put out videos that I'm proud of, that people will hopefully enjoy instead of chasing the algorithm and just trying to put stuff out there just for the hell of it. I created this channel because I wanted to talk about stuff that I like, stuff that I hate, stuff that irritates me and stuff that makes me think. And if I want to do that properly, then unfortunately, I'll never be able to do daily or even weekly videos. And you know what? I'm absolutely fine with not doing weekly or daily videos. So one thing I want you to know, if you are here on my channel, I do appreciate you coming here and I do respect your time and I do appreciate your time as well. So from my side, I always do my best to do my best. Now, I want to leave you with 2 thoughts before we go. 1, remember that when your dog licks you, he's actually calling dibs on your bones for when you die. And secondly, you rock and I appreciate you. Cheers for now and see you in the next video.